Hey there, my name's Danny Leibrandt, and today I am with Jonas Olson, who is the CEO of Pest Badger, a very successful pest control company doing over $10 million a year. And today we're going to be talking all about how to win back customers. So this is a very, a very frequent issue. This happens all the time. Customers are bound to cancel and they might switch to another pest control company. They might be trying to do it themselves. It might be too expensive. And we're going to be talking about all these customers that you lost, how to get them back. So I'm so excited to jump into this one with Jonas. And yeah, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, awesome. I think, again, we talked about this before. You're always going to have cancellations. Unfortunately, that's just part of it. Our job is to reduce churn and, increase retention. So there's multiple ways to do this. But yeah, now we're talking about like customers that have actually physically canceled. We try to save them on the phone, didn't work, and they canceled a year ago, or maybe we tried to sign up in the spring, they didn't come back. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now, right?
Awesome. Yeah, 100%. I'd like to cover just briefly, because we're not going to dedicate a whole video to this, but how can we first prevent these cancellations ideally? So someone's thinking about canceling, they're constantly, hey, I think I'm done, whatever, too expensive. How do you prevent those cancellations in the first place?
Yeah, I think just having a good conversation with the customer if you can. Some of them want to, text or email and trying to save those, but always give the customer a call. If you have a branch manager, maybe you're going to send that branch manager out to talk to the customer in person too. There's multiple ways to save the customer, but just try to figure, most people just want to be heard, right? That's where it starts. So getting them on the phone or getting your branch manager or technician or yourself, depending on where you're at in business, out to their house to see if they can't solve the problem and make sure to fix that relationship. I always like to figure out what made them sign up with us in the first place, right? That's usually what I'll ask them. Why did you even want to sign up for this? They're going to tell you that the issue that they're having, maybe you solve the issue. Now they're not seeing any bugs. And then it's your job as, whether it's you're the manager, technician, or whatever, is to tell them yeah, glad that we were able to take care of it. And this is how we're going to prevent that from happening ever again. Because people think of pest control as a retroactive versus preventative, right? So reactive versus, proactive. So we just got to, educate all of our customers why they still need pest control.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you kind of covered it here, but just to be clear, what are some of the biggest reasons people cancel?
Yeah, there's a million. And if someone's moving, odds of you saving them.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I hate saying this live, but customers lie too.
Okay.
And so you can get really creative here and you can look up, on the phone, you could look up if the person's actually moving, if their actual house is actually listed. If you choose to call them out, it's up to you. But reason being said is because there's a lot of door-to-door companies out there. You got some savvy sales guys that'll pick up the phone and try to cancel before the customer. So you just want to make sure you're talking to the customer, whether that's you, they have to call them from that phone number that's on file, or at least know the last 4 digits of the card's on file. Things you can do to help reduce those things from happening. You actually want to have a customer cancel themselves and at least give you an opportunity to talk through it. And there's other customers, and I don't need to go down this rabbit hole yet. So I'll ask the next question.
Hey guys, real quick, if you guys are really looking to grow your pest control company, check out what we do at pestcontrolmillionaires.com.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's say they have canceled. Yeah. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, they have canceled. How can we start to win back? And maybe the first stage of that win back, the next month or so. What does that look like?
And so that's where I right away, within. We're gonna try to save them on the phone, send a branch manager. Let's just say that doesn't happen. Maybe let's just say they're unhappy, right? Maybe it's too expensive, or they got switched over. Our goal is to just constantly have a campaign going in the background, which is a nature nurture sequence. Maybe you give it you've already paid for your customer acquisition costs at this point. So how do we get them back? Could you give them a discount? Could you send them text campaigns, email campaigns, whatever that may look like throughout the entire year? So let's just say that they canceled because they weren't having issues, but then you're constantly putting them, let's just say get a good example. It's you're doing a drip campaign where they see you twice a month. You talk about the bugs of the month or the problems people were having, what issues are going on in the community, things like that. And you're constantly top of mind through email campaign or text campaign. And all of a sudden they have an issue come fall time with stinging insects, or maybe they're having issues with mice or rodents, and so like you've been campaigning them throughout the years. They canceled last year, but again, go back to what we said. I like to start this like almost 2 weeks out of the gate.
Yeah,
and then having a drip campaign every single month. Constantly tell them like what the issues they're dealing with, and then let's go fast forward. Having issues in the fall with rodents, and like, oh man, I'm having a rodent problem. I'm gonna give these guys a call. They've seen texts, they've seen the emails come through, and they call you back, and you actually can win back quite a few of these people.
Awesome. Okay, so you want to have some occasional touches. They shouldn't be too frequent. Don't call them every single day.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, we're here, and we do want to help, and if you ever need us. Okay, awesome. And do offers or discounts play into this, whether of actually saving the cancellation or of winning them back?
Yeah, a lot of people will. If you've really messed up, right? Again, people just want to be heard, and so maybe discounting that whole entire service that you messed up. Or maybe they just couldn't afford it, and like they lost their job. Like if they've lost their job, like of course you got to have some empathy here, right? So maybe you put them on hold for 3 months. Maybe
pause. Okay, that's a good one.
But maybe you still do their service because you want to show that act of kindness.
Yeah.
So maybe you still go a service and not charge them that quarter until 3 months later and they got a job, they're back on their feet because they still need pest control. So what are the things that you can think of that you can do for the customer to say, hey, man, I really understand. Like, I'm really sorry that happened to you. I wanted you to get back on your feet. Can't let your house go, this long. Maybe you could reduce that monthly cost from $40 to $10 to keep their subscription, whatever. Just think through it, And then, so then let's say they have canceled and you want to get that customer back. This is the time where you want to send them a crazy offer because, again, you've already paid that customer acquisition cost.
Yeah.
Now you want to reactivate that and get as much LTV out of that as possible. So you want to get that revenue back from that client,
Yeah.
So you already paid for the customer acquisition cost. You're going to want to, and you probably can give them a crazy offer here to jump back on board.
Yeah. Awesome. What would be a target win back percentage? I'm sure a lot of them, it's pretty small.
Low, yeah.
But
I would say, 3 to 5%, or I'd say 1 to 3% probably.
Really? Okay, that low.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean it's retrospectively low, but if you have a lot of people canceling, if you're a big company like yours, then that ends up being a lot of accounts.
Yeah,
still,
for
right?
sure. So if your churn rate is 2% a month and you can win back 2% a month, that's not terrible.
Yeah.
You're holding up with churn, So that's constantly what we're watching. And watching different offers, testing different offers here too. What works, what doesn't work. Again, specific times of year, issues that they're having, those campaigns that we're running. Like if it's mosquitoes are crazy and they cancel their mosquito service from last year, and then you hit them with their reactivation campaign in the middle of May when mosquitoes are crazy, like think through it, Like, oh man, I thought, why did I cancel that? Mosquitoes are terrible out this year. We need them right now. So think through these campaigns that you can do throughout the summer, those pain points that you can hit on.
Yeah. And I want to get a little bit more tactical on like what exactly you're sending them. So is it almost like a newsletter and it's like, what's going on this season or, maybe a different pest every month?
Yeah.
What should you be sending?
All the above, right? It's like, it's the nature and nurture where nature is like telling you what's going on out there. Right. And then you're like nurturing them to want to buy from you. So giving them discounts. You could say like actually real life problems that people are having, like tell them a customer's issue that they had that month. And then how you overcame that. Like walk them through the process of it all. Send off those emails. And then it's like the discounts, right? If you want to give them an offer, maybe you want to do a free initial, maybe you do a free inspection, maybe a free bait box install, like whatever they think can be to win back that customer to get them back on.
Sweet. And mainly email, but
text too. Text works great. Phone calls work. Yeah, absolutely. Like you want to do email campaigns, text campaigns, and you still want to call these customers too. Like again, let's say you have 1,000 customers that canceled in the past 5 years and they haven't been touched. Like it's so much untapped potential. Like in the off season, make sure your salespeople or yourself or you're reaching out to these people and just trying to connect with them.
And what do you think actually gets them to get one back? Is it that they see pests in their house again, or is that you made a really good offer?
It could be all the above too. Like there's not if or it's hard to say why they canceled too. Maybe they lost their job and they didn't want to tell you, or maybe they weren't having issues, but now they have issues, or maybe the tech pissed them off and they didn't want to tell you.
Yeah.
But you finally get a hold of them, like, yeah, why did this? Oh, we didn't know. Sorry, you should have just told us that from the beginning. And they're like, oh yeah, most time they just want to be heard. And if you listen to them, you can usually solve that problem too.
Okay, so it might be like an embarrassing issue or something they don't want to fully share. So partially it is just like a communication problem. Like, let's get really clear on why you're canceling.
Yeah, and most people like, they don't like confrontation at all. So they'd rather just send a text or email that they want to cancel, and you don't know why. And you try to call them, they don't answer, but then for whatever reason, they answered a text 2 months later or a phone call 2 months later. And they told you the real reason why, and you were able to fix it.
Yeah. And then what are the biggest mistakes here? I'm guessing just no follow-up at all.
Zero people do this. I shouldn't say zero. Very little people actually run a reactivation campaign or want to call their canceled customers. Like, I don't want to call that person. They're pissed off at me. It's like, these are the people that you want to reach out to because you've already paid for the customer acquisition cost. They've already seen your great service. They know your brand, but maybe you did something, maybe you didn't. You just got to figure out why.
Definitely. Awesome. Well, I think this is a great episode on how to win back customers and ideally even save that cancellation before it happens. Great episode as always. Thank you so much for coming on, Jonas.
Yeah, man, anytime.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. I know that we really appreciate you guys taking the time with us here. If you guys have any questions, comments, make sure to throw them in the comment section below. And if you found this valuable, make sure to like and subscribe and to share with your friends who maybe own a service business themselves. Again, our goal here is to provide as much value to you guys as possible. Also, if you guys are really looking to grow your business, make sure to check out our website at pestcontrolmillionaires.com. We'll have the link below in the bio, and we'll also have a free school group for you guys to check out. So, thanks for watching.